Christopher Columbus did it in a boat. Phineas Fogg did it in 80 days. Richard Branson tried to do it in a hot air balloon. But none of them did it with 3 baby boys. Introducing the world's youngest explorers, 11-month-old twin boys, Ollie and Max, and their younger brother, Freddie. Join them and their loving parents, Wilco and Anya Drew, as they set out on their 12-month adventure around the world. Together, they are 4 men and a lady.
We were 2 people happy, traveling around the world, visiting all these places about which we only heard. We got these 3 little passes that'll change our lives for good, and our travel plans continue with a slightly heavier load. And we are 4 men and a lady. Some people think we're crazy, as long as we got each other, we'll be 4 men and a lady. We'll be 4 men and a lady. We'll be 4 men and a lady.
G'day, mate.
G'day.
G'day.
G'day, mate.
G'day. There we go. G'day.
Well, g'day there.
G'day. Can you guess where we are? Our flight from Cape Town to Perth was really pretty painless. It was a night flight and the boys slept most of it. But then there's the time difference factor, and a 7-hour shift does make the kids' adjustment period just a little bit more drawn out.
Breakfast time. Oh, being in bed time anyway. This might get us 10 more minutes sleep.
But even heavy jet lag can quickly be overcome by feeding breakfast, lunch and supper immediately at local times. Working through the stomach to change the kids' routines as fast as possible. So we set off to the broad walks in search of a park for some fun and a picnic. And boy, did we find the perfect spot. There's 53 kilometres of towpath all the way around the Swan River, which really makes it much more like a lake, in fact, in the centre and the heart of Perth. Everywhere along it, there's little parks to stop off, great places for kids to play and adults to have a barbecue. Good on you, Australia. The parks in Perth are ridiculously good. Every street corner has a place for kids to mess about. And as always in Australia, loads of Barbies. The amazing council come and clean these barbecues, I think every week or 2, but the rough etiquette is you leave it quite nice afterwards, but before you probably need to give it just a quick little clean with a bit of paper and some water. Check out this stuff. Monster Aussie bacon. And if you're up for a little trip, then you can step into places like this in Heathcote with great views, extraordinarily clean, with a huge pirate ship for the kids to climb through.
Right, these boys are up for an adventure. We're going to put you in, shall we? Come on. There's another slide here. Ooh, this is going very good. Careful, Oliver. Careful. Ollie. Okay. Okay, I've got you. I've got you. Okay. That was a bit scary. Right, we're fine. We're fine.
We're out in Whiteman Park today, but we've only come to check out one part of it, Caversham. Why? Whiteman Park's a huge, big kids' adventure place about an hour from Perth, but Caversham is home to Australia's indigenous animals, and that's what we want to go and do. Play with some kangaroos, wallabies, and see what we can find. Come on, guys. The team behind Caversham have totally understood kids and fun. It is by no means the biggest and best zoo or wildlife park, but it has an extraordinarily laid-back feel. Really friendly and knowledgeable staff, and designed to really get kids up close and personal with the cheeky and colourful marsupials they usually only get to point at in a book or on the TV. Koalas sleep for about 20 hours a day. That would be really nice. Thanks. Learn something from this guy. So what are you doing? Oh, okay. How long can we do this for, Freddie? It's very difficult.
It's quite hard. It's hard work.
Freddle the koala. Oh. Australians take all of their sports very seriously, but on the weekend afternoons in winter, there's only one sport which has all the locals glued: Aussie rules football. Here in Western Australia, there are two main teams, the Fremantle Dockers and the West Coast Eagles, and the rivalry between them and the rest of the country is intense. If you want to understand the rules, you're on your own, buddy. It's basically big tall guys, basketball players with a flat soccer ball and rugby posts. We tried to learn. Honest. We've ducked 10 minutes early, or just a little bit before that. It's not the end of the world. It looks like the Eagles are not going to come back from the smashing they've taken from the power guys, but we've had a super time and there'll be a little bit less traffic on the public transport system. I'm going to head out with Freddie, who's been great. All in all, great fun day. Although Perth is a significant city in its own right, its geographical isolation means that it has some amazing natural beauty right on its very doorstep. We are off today to the island of Rottnest, less than half an hour away by ferry, or if you have the cash to splash, you can arrive in style by private plane or on your own yacht. It's got an amazing Caribbean feel to this place. I'm really quite blown away. I thought it would just be a little island off Perth, and it obviously is just a little island off Perth, but real Caribbean laid-back holiday vibe. Except the only problem is it was overcast this morning and I left with jeans and no shorts on, so I'm boiling. Once you're on Rottnest, the first thing that you will not notice is any cars. So to see the island, you're going to have to use your legs to walk, or like most people, rent something to pedal. If transport under your own steam is an issue, there's also a neat bus service around the island, and you can hire disability vehicles from the cycle shop. Seriously, don't care if I get thrown off this island for some sort of exposure or something. But it's really, really hot. I'm not wearing these jeans any longer. It's boxer short time. This will probably kill all the marketing for Calvin Klein, I should think, having my fat ass in a pair of their boxers, but I don't care. Oh, that's better. Bike ride was nice, longer than I thought and a bit harder. Stupidly set off in jeans this morning. I don't know why I did that, but it seemed pretty overcast and now it's just the most magical day. Rottnest is just an adventure playground for kids. You could spend weeks here. We're very, very impressed with the place. Come on, guys. While the 25 kilometres of crystal clear coastline, white sand beaches and little bays are the main draw card, the whole island is a Class A nature reserve, and its inland areas are also home to some stunning local flora, fauna and unusual animals, which must not be missed.
If we'd have known Rottnest was going to be this beautiful, we'd have probably booked 2 or 3 days worth of our accommodation here. It really is worth it. The cycling, the open air, these beaches, it's just magnificent.
If you do want to stay a while on the island, there is a wide choice of accommodation grades, all beautifully explained at rottnestisland.com. But budget travellers, be aware, island life is never cheap.
I'm really sad to be heading back to the mainland. If I'd known it was going to be such an adventure, I'd have definitely tried to stay a little bit longer. Anyway, we may get refused access onto the boat because this guy's bottom smells so badly.
All in all, a great day out. Just one thing to remember, don't take kids that are under 12 months old because you can't put them on the bikes yet. They're far too fragile. So we packed our little Freddie into a backpack, but the rest of the boys were on their little bikes in the back, which is nice. Very tiring, but really nice day.
It's going to feel like a little pie guy or some blackjack. Let's hit the strip. Back to the ship we just pulled. Yeah.
7 hair wishes granted with panting conditioners.
Public transport here is fantastic. Just for $8 Aussie dollars, we've got a family ticket for the whole day for 2 adults, 3 kids, $8. Fantastic service.
After yesterday's beach time, we're doing a city day today, but because it's Perth, that doesn't mean cars, smog and concrete, and our first stop is Kings Park. 1,000 acres, that's 350 hectares of green fun to be had smack in the centre of town.
One of the most beautiful things about this special corner established for the guys who lost their lives in Bali is it's not only to commiserate those who died in the Bali bombing, but also to honour the endurance of those who survived and the strength that they will need to live on the rest of their lives. I think that's a really beautiful and very poignant touch. And now we're going into Botanical Gardens to the big draw card, the Treetop Walk.
Whether you are 2 or 202, there is something here for everyone.
Everything in Perth is just so safe. Perhaps it's a false sense of security, or perhaps it's just having come from Cape Town, but we're going to ditch the prams and leave them here in the middle of the park because this little walkway here looks fantastic. It's got good sides and it's not very wide, and great for guys that have just learnt to walk like Max and Ollie. Let's go check it out.
Kings Park is a lot more than just a park. It's a botanical garden, sculpture and memorial zone packed with kids' playgrounds, running tracks, exhibitions and cultural displays.
And because it's Perth, our prams are exactly where we left them an hour ago. This place really is safe. It's a lovely feeling compared to South Africa, where we felt just a little bit more edgier all the way. Although Cape Town as well was a terrifically beautiful city, the safety here is great fun with the kids.
G'day and welcome to the Perth Minch. Now this is a nugget. The Welcome Stranger. 71.5 kilos of gold.
Just to pull the gold out of the furnace, then I can pour it into the cast iron mould on the table. Today, something this size would set you back a little bit over $200,000.
I thought the Perth Mint was just fascinating. If you've got kids 3, 4 or slightly over, you've got to go there if you're in town. Really good fun. We're just packing up. We've hired this ridiculously big car to go down to Margaret River. Thank God it's a Ford something, but it's got a boot like I've never seen, which is pretty lucky because we've absolutely packed it. If we'd got anything smaller, we'd have been totally finished. So yeah, good little learning about how big a car we need.
Excited as we were to be heading off to Margaret River, about 4 hours or so south of Perth, we were also a little sad to be leaving behind the most toddler-friendly city we have ever travelled to. The people of Perth were so helpful, the public transport so easy. It's as if they'd sacked the normal council officials when they designed the town and brought in a bunch of kids to create their very own wonderland. As always, we found our digs on the net, and this time we really hit the jackpot.
Oh, that's very good.
Let's go and have a look.
Let me go and find my house. So much of the crap you can buy for kids these days is really unnecessary, but some things have really changed the world over the last 5 or 10 years in terms of kids travel. And this, a 2-kilo cot that you can lug around with you, is one of them.
Margaret River is famous for wine and surfing, and while we definitely don't need anyone to teach us how to drink more wine, we were very grateful to meet Mark, who after a bottle or 3 last night, agreed to take me out to clear our heads and catch some waves in the morning.
Nervous, no, cold. Too cold to be nervous. Do I look like super cool with a surfboard? I feel like such a surfing dude.
According to Mark, the conditions were no good for surfing, but neither that nor the downpour or my hangover did anything to dampen the thrill of riding my first wave.
That's as much fun as I've had in ages. 10 minutes is all I've had. I tell you what, I want to go on the 2-week, 3-week, 4-week, whatever surfing holiday. That is fantastic.
Bag, you go a
breweries and pubs here in Perth are super kids friendly. There's playgrounds and a little band playing and open areas, just magical.
Because Perth is so far from anywhere, the surrounding areas have brilliant tourist stops as they cater all year around for the local weekenders as well as the international tourists. From underground caverns to sweetie factories, craft shops to boutiques, every few miles there is a good reason to pull over and take a break.
How would you rate Perth, Freddie? Big 5, Daddy. Big 5.
These guys are travelling around the world with triplets. So cheers to you. Good luck.
Whilst we're in this sweetie shop, I'm not going to give anything to my boys because it's full of sugar, and I'm trying not to give them sugar before lunch, otherwise they won't eat their lunch. That means I'm going to have more for myself.
That was the chili fudge, and normally things when it says chili is like really mild. That's proper chili. It's Willy Wonka's shop, Daddy.
Smell is amazing. We're here in front of the Margaret River Chocolate Factory where we're going to have a quick peek and maybe buy some chocolate. I've left Walker in the car with the 2 sleeping kids and I've just picked the one that would not go down to sleep. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, that was definitely worth doing. Delicious. Especially the white. Ah! Don't eat it all.
Excuse the pun, there's a bit of a nut house in there. It's too crammed and it's really not much of an attraction, but the chocolate is fantastic. That I can't take away from them.
Even in a famous wine area, tasting tours are not usually a great toddler's event. But today, well, let's blame the weather.
G'day and welcome to Woody Nook Cafe.
When it's pouring outside, there really is only one thing to do when you're in Margaret River, and that's come pouring inside.
That's very nice.
We have all had a blast in Western Australia. Although we are only a few stops into our journey around the world, I wonder already if we will find anywhere to compete with Perth and its surrounds for kid, grown-up and full family fun. We had a feeling things might only go downhill from here, and that was before they told us the flight had just been delayed by 4 hours. I hope the Chinese are ready for 5 very grumpy travellers.
Thank you.